Just because I like fucking you doesn't mean I actually like you. Rich guys and hot guys get cheated on like everybody else. There's nothing to be afraid of. She's just a woman. Discovery trumps disclosure. You lost your edge, she lost the traction. That's how it works.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
Take two. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome back to the 393rd edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Tuesday, January 15th, 2019. We are multicasting live to 3 YouTube channels, 3 Facebook pages, and Twitter via Periscope. Hopefully the technical issues are over. I can't make any promises, guys. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but we're going to try to soldier on, and if this is something that is outside of my control, then I will make the appropriate phone call so that I can control it. But because it is showtime and I don't really have the time, at least not right now, to call up my internet service provider and air them out, the show goes on until they say otherwise. So I'm sure it's something minor. I get extremely, extremely pissed when things that are outside of my control ain't acting right. That is, whew, man, because I work very, very hard to make sure things go right and smoothly. I dot all my I's, I cross all my T's. And when something like that appears to be throttling on internet that I pay a shitload of money for, when things like that get in the way, I tend to lose my shit. I cannot listen. I listen, man. We talk about alpha males need to hold frame and this and that and the other. All that. Listen, that's all well and good, but there are some situations I don't really hold frame. I don't really hold frame very well on, and slow internet is one of them, especially as much money as we pay these fuckers. Anyway, getting back to it, it is long-term relationship week here at TSR Towers, and like I said yesterday, we talked about the vetting process. We talked about prerequisites. We discussed circumstances, characteristics, etc., etc. Well, today we're going to continue talking about vetting women. Vetting women is the single most important element when it comes to choosing a woman for a potential relationship. But because most men are lazy, because most men are thirsty, because most men are undisciplined and in a hurry, they rarely do. Oh boy, here we go. Now I've got microphone problems. Ay, ay, ay. Is everything good on the mic end, guys? Jesus fucking hell, man. Anyway, because men don't want to take the time that's necessary to vet a woman properly, they end up getting burned. 11 times out of 10, they end up getting burned most of the time. So, getting back to what I was talking about. Those of you guys who are sports fans are aware of the quarterback tandems that are often debated about in the NFL draft. Andrew Luck versus Robert Griffin III. 2012, the Colts took Andrew Luck first. Redskins took RG3 second. Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers from back in 2005. The 49ers selected Alex Smith first. Aaron Rodgers drops all the way down to 22, gets picked up by the Packers. Then, of course, more recently, Jared Goff or Carson Wentz. The list goes on. Well, slight buzz when I talk. Ay, ay, ay. How's this, guys? Is there any more? This is really, really beginning to. Ay, ay, ay. You want to see me come apart at the seams, man? This is it. Listen, anybody who wants to tune in and see Donovan Sharpe melt down, this would be the day. Okay, I'm being told it's good. All right. Listen, man, if anything else happens, if it's buzzing, if the internet is slow, fuck it. I'm just going to do the show just as a matter of exercise, just so I can feel like I did everything I was supposed to do. I felt like I was supposed to do today. Anyway, 1998 was no different. The Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. All right, now I'm being told that you guys don't hear me enough. All right. So there's the gain. Okay, testing. There we go. How about that? Okay, there we go. that's really loud. All right, how's this, guys? That looks a little bit too loud. How's that, guys? I'm gonna have to cut all this out. This is bull. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, all right. All right, so we're good. All right. Jesus, fuck. Dude, I almost want to go back and just redo the whole thing. Fuck it, I'm going on. I don't give a shit. Anyway, the Indianapolis Colts had the number 1 overall pick, and the word on the street, the word around NFL circles, Adam Schefter, et cetera, was that they were torn in terms of which quarterback they were going to take in the draft. Of course, Ryan Leaf or Peyton Manning. Now, the Colts ended up taking Manning number 1 overall, and the San Diego Chargers took Leaf at number 2. Now, after they made the pick, and I think it was Susie Kolber who had the post-draft interview with Bill Polian, who was the general manager of the Indianapolis Colts, Hall of Fame general manager of the Indianapolis Colts. And by the way, Bill Polian was the GM of the Buffalo Bills back in the glory days, back when the Bills made their run to 4 straight Super Bowls. He put those teams together. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, oh my God, Darryl Talley, Bruce Smith, Keith McKellar, Mark Kelso, Kent Hull was the center of that team. They had an all-star, dude, James Lofton. I mean, he put those teams together. So Bill Polian knows what he's doing. So Susie Kolber goes and asks him, she says, well, listen, Bill, what made you draft Peyton Manning over Ryan Leaf? Ryan Leaf clearly has a stronger arm. He's bigger, he's more athletic, he's thicker. He's Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year. And Bill Polian's answer was simple. He said, we did our homework, and Peyton was the clear choice. So the Colts were never in doubt as far as who their guy was. They knew they were going with Manning the entire time. Now, Peyton Manning, of course, goes on to be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. He wins 2 Super Bowls, sets all kinds of records. He's going to walk into Canton. But Ryan Leaf is considered to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, draft bust in NFL history. He's mentioned up there with guys like Tony Mandarich, Jamarcus Russell, Steve Emptman, those guys. And a lot of guys put Leaf number 1. There are a lot of draft busts, a lot of Andre Wares out there, right? A lot of Chris Winkies, a lot of Jason Whites. Ryan Leaf stands alone, and a lot of people's Ricky Bobby, Jamarcus Russell getting a nomination. Yeah, Jamarcus Russell was bad. A lot of people say Ryan Leaf was worse, but I think it was because of his temperament and attitude. Anyway, Ryan Leaf's career lasted 4 very short years. He played with 4 different teams. He threw 14 touchdowns and 36 interceptions and flamed completely out of the league. Now, since he retired, he's been in trouble with the law. He's got an opioid dependency. Got caught trying to steal pills from a pharmacy or something like that, went to prison for 2 years and all the rest of that. Now, since then, he's gotten his life back together. Ryan Leaf now works with an organization that helps people with addiction. He went back and finished his degree at Washington State University. He's got a radio show. He does some financial consulting, and he works as a college football analyst. So he got his shit back together. So good for Ryan Leaf. Good for him for getting back on the horse. But going back to what Bill Polian said when he said, we did our homework and Peyton was the clear choice. What we all found out later that the Colts knew beforehand is that Ryan Leaf was a wreck upstairs. Yeah, he had all the physical tools. He had all the physical gifts. But his coaches talked about how sullen and short-tempered Ryan Leaf was in high school. It was also said, it was rumored, nothing on record, but it was rumored that he was diagnosed with severe depression his junior year in high school, and people who knew him often described him as troubled. The Colts did their homework and learned all of this stuff and said, no thanks. We're going to take the guy who comes from a stable football family with a strong father and stayed in college until he graduated. Peyton Manning. The San Diego Chargers didn't do their homework on Ryan Leaf. All they saw was a big athletic kid with a rocket arm, and they fell in love. Now, some of you might rightfully point out, yeah, but Donovan, they had to take Leaf number 2 overall if the Colts got him at number 1, at Manning at number 1, right? Sean Salisbury was a terrible quarterback who led them to a 4-12 record or something like that. I think this was back in 97. So they had to take him, right? And this is exactly where men go wrong. Men get into relationships with women for the wrong reasons. They just got dumped. They're lonely. They're thirsty. Whatever the reason, they just have to have a girlfriend. Just like the Chargers had to have Ryan Leaf. We're 4-12. Sean Salisbury is our quarterback. Well, Ryan Leaf's the next best guy. Let's just go ahead and grab him. So what do we as men do? What do you as men do? You commit to the first half-decent-looking girl who pays you attention. You don't ask questions. You don't observe. You're not patient. You just jumped into it with her, having no idea who she really is. Then, 3 years later, you are sitting in jail because your child support is late. Your baby mama is at your place fucking the dude she cheated on you with, letting him drive your car and emptying your bank account because you foolishly opened a joint bank account with her. All of this could have been avoided had you just taken the time to vet her. This is the number one mistake that men make with women, and this is not vetting women. The San Diego Chargers made that same mistake 2 decades ago. And lucky for them, they drafted Drew Brees 4 years later, then Phillip Rivers 3 years after that. And neither one of those guys have any off-the-field issues whatsoever. Drew Brees might win his second Super Bowl this year, and Phillip Rivers is probably a Hall of Famer. The San Diego Chargers learned their lesson. They understood that they shouldn't be enamored with just talent alone. They learned that they have to do their research and vet players, especially quarterbacks, before drafting them. Listen, if you draft a linebacker that comes from a chaotic household, okay. You've got a Vontaze Burfict guy who gets suspended about once every couple of years, knocks somebody's head off, gets fined, okay. Vontaze Burfict is still one of the best linebackers in football. You can deal with a guy who's got a few loose screws. But at the quarterback position, you can't afford that. Can't do it. Gentlemen, you would be well to do the same. We've all been the 98 San Diego Chargers. We've all been there, myself included. We've all been hypnotized by a woman's looks. Now, not every girl is, quote, Peyton Manning. But that doesn't mean we have to just run out and go wife up all the Ryan Leafs because there are no Peyton Mannings left. We don't have to do that either. Take your time, do your homework, and wait on a Drew Brees. Wait on a Phillip Rivers. My opening rant is brought to you by Good Vibes CBD Oil. Good Vibes will not only drastically reduce your anxiety symptoms, you will also get some of the best sleep you have ever had. If you want to support the show and get your hands on the best and most effective CBD oil around, go to donovansharpe.com and buy it through my affiliate link. Use promo code Donovan15 to get a 15% discount. Again, that's Donovan15, Donovan15 to get 15% off. If you have a question or a comment about how to properly vet a woman for a long-term relationship, or if you want to shoot the shit about the 98 NFL draft, which happened to be very interesting, give me a call. 914-205-5356 if you have an unrelated question about girls, game, finance, fitness, or anything else that pertains to increasing your value and agency as a man. Book a one-on-one consult on donovansharpe.com/consults with an S. Follow, add, and like me on Facebook and Twitter. I am no longer on Instagram. I deleted my account, so Facebook and Twitter are the only social media platforms I am on at the moment. And of course, that could change at any time for any reason, be it my decision or the decisions of these platforms. To get access to all of my content, go to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. There you will find the entire archive of all complete episodes of TSR Live, both audio and video, so you can listen on the go or watch at your leisure. A lot of guys love the fact that you can listen to these episodes because it takes up less data. It's just audio, and you don't have to have your phone open and on. You can put your phone in sleep mode. You can still hear it. A lot of people like that. Now, you can watch my show Monday through Thursday afternoons at 5 Eastern, but if you want to be able to rewatch or re-listen to the episodes in their entirety, less than 17 cents a day is all that it takes. Hellfire giving me the double thumbs up on the MP3s. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter to stay in the know on all things Donovan Sharpe. You guys know that I could be deplatformed at any time. So if you don't want to miss out on any of my content, simply go to donovansharpe.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, and if the pop-up doesn't get you, scroll to the bottom of the page, plug in your email address, and you are good to go. Literally takes 2.67 seconds. I've actually timed it myself. If you like what you hear, if you get something out of my content and you want to contribute to the show, you can do so through my Streamlabs link, www.streamlabs.com/DonovanSharpe1. That is www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe. And the number one, if I get enough contributions, maybe I can pay Xfinity a little extra to keep them from throttling my internet. I pay these fuckers a lot of money for the best internet. We got the gold package, the best internet. I'm supposed to be able to stream 100 movies on 100 different devices. So, yeah, that's... Anyway, I'm not going to bitch and moan about that. If you are watching on Facebook, Twitter, or one of my backup YouTube channels, come on over to my main channel to watch the rest of the show. See you in Vegas. I see you on the line. Just search for DonovanSharpe.com. I'm sorry, Donovan Sharpe on YouTube. And the first channel you see with my face as the logo is the channel that you should come and subscribe to. Again, if you are watching on Facebook, Twitter, or one of my backup... To watch or listen to the rest of this episode, go to DonovanSharpe.com. Thanks for watching.